Yes.
So, like, for example, in Buddhism, what you might really say is not non-being, but neither being nor non-being.
Yeah.
So, but,
Oh yeah, it goes deep. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but if you enter through existence and you say neither existing nor non-existing,
Yes.
is that where you're pointing to?
Yes.
Or is it even deeper than that?
Yes, deeper than that, where the concepts haven't even arisen.
In Buddhism, it's projective geometry. So if we take the me, it's me is defined. If you look at the wheel of samsara, there's three. There's an allegory. There's a snake, a rooster, and a pig. And it turns out those represent mass, time, space.
Okay.
And what happens is, so math, or time, space, and matter collapse into something prior to that.
Okay.
So projective geometry, through the vanishing point.
Yeah.
And so what you're saying is that there's the vanishing point, but then there's prior to that vanishing
Yes.
point. That's just what.
Yes. And the matter goes first, then time, and then space. There's a sequence. There's a sequence if you're able to have the wider lens. Because the way I'm talking about it is the lens is going to get wider and wider. So it's like, it's just, I don't use sound effect at this point.
So what I notice in my experience is that usually with my eyes open, it's usually space is not gone. It's not, it's, you know,
Yeah.
it has happened,
Yeah.
but not usually. Somehow with eyes closed, it's different. But,
You can go prior to space with your eyes closed.
yeah.
Okay.
But usually, you know, walking around eyes open. And I've heard you talk about this before, and that was useful to drop it. But I noticed that that's not the case usually. So would you say in your case you can just move the lens of perception to beyond space? Or it's just there anyway, you can
Yeah.
move it in? Or,
It's there anyway, yeah.
So that's interesting, yeah.
It's there anyway.
So
yeah.
that there's something in there for me to investigate.
There is. So you're believing the information that's coming
Somehow
into
you're
your...
believing the, I'm
Yeah.
believing the eyes.
Yeah, you're believing in the eyes, exactly. Yeah, that's the inroad to construct the whole thing. Yeah, you're onto something. Yeah.
So it feels like it's
Yes.
just dropping into unknowing.
Yes.
Just,
Can we go deeper than that?
well, then you're back. Then you're into nothing,
Yes.
and then I'm into your words.
Okay.
Yeah, you then drop the nothing. I know that's your words, not mine.
Yeah. Can you drop even the nothing? Can it?
There's no word. There's nothing.
Okay.
No way to express that.
Okay. Now, can you stay there and see the pure consciousness layer, the absolute layer, and the Richard layer?
I can move through them. I can't.
Can you stay outside all of it? As if there's, I mean, you know, I'm really screwing up my language here. I'm completely contradicting myself, but you get the idea. That from way outside, where they're like way outside, no space, no nothing, and yet,
And then bring them all in.
yet the absolute shows up as reality, and the me shows up as unreality and transient. And all the while.
It's not something I'm accustomed to doing, but I can get there.
Okay, great. Great. Yeah. There is a feeling of freedom because the dual and the non-dual are like, oh, there's no pull, there's no preference, it's like they click into functionality. It's like, oh, jeepers. There's the non-dual is as unreal as the dual. Believing in the absolute and pure consciousness and the whole thing. Oh, for goodness sake, what a joke. It's probably heresy, but there we go. groundedness like nothing else. You know, yeah. Sorry, I know there was hands up here too. Yeah.
Isn't that kind of a scary place too? 'Cause, I seem sometimes just like, it feels like an abyss, and you just drop in and everything's black and there's nothing there, and you just... That's it.
What's this?
That's it. Just,
Okay.
There's nothing.
Okay.
And it's just like a scary, you know.
Is it scary
Yeah,
in the
I feel-
moment?
No, I just feel it like right here. Like,
So your idea about it is scary.
no, there's not an idea. Just
So where is the fear coming
a
from?
sensation. Just a physical sensation.
So what's the thought that's giving the sensation? Because your body will always, your sensations will always be preceded by thought.
I don't know, perhaps annihilation. Yeah, perhaps annihilation.
Work with your own mortality a bit.
Yeah, that doesn't worry me.
Why would there be a trigger around being
I
annihilated?
think annihilation of everything.
Yes?
Not personal. Not
Yeah.
necessarily personal, but just,
Uh-huh.
annihilation of everything.
Okay. So the annihilation of everything is now coming from the lens of this, because there's something that is reacting to it. Can the annihilation of everything be seen from another
I
lens?
think maybe that because there's some concept of this consciousness, or that's common. A concept of that arising and creating manifest, and it's real uncomfortable to think about this nothing.
Yes. That's wonderful.
But there is experience.
Okay. So it's uncomfortable to think of nothing. So what's going on here then is this is better than this. The non-dual is better than this. Because if it's uncomfortable to think of nothing, then we're looking at the non-dual and deeper than it from here. And so there's a good, bad, and a preference running, which tells me you're bouncing between the two.
Yeah.
When the seeing comes from a deeper place.
Because there's maybe an attachment to purpose, some sort of purpose. That if there's no agenda and no purpose, oh wow, is everything meaningless then? Yeah, some attachment.
Yes.
Some attachment there maybe.
Yes. So the meaning is only valuable for in that narrow lens of perception. So, and you can say, yeah, my personality really likes meaning and purpose. It really does. But where I'm looking from, doesn't matter a crap.
Yeah, conceptually I don't have a problem with it.
Conceptually.
Because I can say, oh, here's this energy or reality, and it has no agenda, and that's okay.
Okay, I'd love to swap it out so that the conceptual one
Yeah.
is the one who's not okay with it, and that the authentic one in your gut is that, of course it's okay.
Yeah.
Swap it out, you see?
Okay.
Because there's more concepts in this. This is the one that's completely created by concepts. The me, myself, I. And as we drop down, there's less and less concepts, obviously. Even the concept of space, identity, absolute consciousness. Like, they all gotta go.
Can I fill in? Because I can connect to what you're talking about, to my experience. And I get some, I can't quite see the borders between these lines, but something, that the feeling of uncomfortable for me was dying.
Dying.
Yeah, the belief of dying, not actually.
Yeah, the
Actually,
idea
it's
of
life showing up in another way,
Yes.
but you're wrestling with it, with some kind of feeling of stopping existing.
Yes.
The feeling, the concept is so deep
Yes.
that it's almost impossible to face it. But behind
Almost.
it, almost.
I guess maybe there's a feeling of kind of falling,
Okay,
in
yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
And maybe the fear is that you might hit something.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Surrender, huh?
Falling without
Surrender
moving.
and
As
trust.
Trungpa said, there is no ground. That's
No, there's no ground. There's no ground. No ground to be in.
in.
Nothing to hang on to here.
That's the good part.
Yeah, I know it's all nonverbal at that point. Can you evoke it? I'm feeling a sensory deprivation tank being in there for like 5 hours, kind of experientially. But I'm wondering metaphors, poetry, however you can try to get us in that zone.
Shoot. I can't get a read on you right now to see where the crack would be for you. It's more about not being attached to the non-dual. Take the non-dual off the pedestal. And I think something will show up then. Do you feel you've got non-dual on a pedestal?
I'm wondering why we need to give it a name. Maybe that's what you're questioning. I mean, to me, there's a pure state. It's just being, presence.
Yeah, but
with wherever. I mean, there's so many levels of sensation, perception.
That's all here.
Yeah.
Being presence, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about what goes further than the non-dual teachings.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm really trying to
Yeah.
grasp.
Yeah, and it's kind of like this subtle. There might be one word for it. It's like maybe. For you, it's probably maybe. But the non-dual has to be demystified and taken off the pedestal. And if I were you, I would work on having the two lenses function well. And if the non-dual is off the pedestal, something is going to start opening.
Well, it's just all the moment. There's no naming, not dual or non-dual. It's just presence.
Yeah, but presence is the non-dual.
Sensation.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Presence, it's way too much existence
Yeah.
in presence.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Yeah. But presence to whatever, whether it's something as mundane as, okay, what am I going to eat after this?
Yeah.
Or as flighty as a lot of the conversation we've been having here.
So being
Yeah.
present
Yeah.
is here in the me, because I am present now. And we started with that. Are you really here? Be present. Pull in more of you to be here. We started there because we were looking at time and space and we were in the dualistic lens. Present turns into presence with the non-dual lens. Then it's presence. It has a physiological feeling as well. There's a bit in the body about presence. It kind of feels nice. And you can kind of taste presence itself. But it's not being present to something. You know the other part. Personality can be present to something, to the present moment or something. But this is presence itself. All right. Deeper than that. Can you swap out that for nothing?
So what's happening to the senses? I mean, we're these animals, right? There's so much stuff to
So you're looking to here,
Yeah.
and I'm saying go here.
Okay.
You're looking to go back into the narrowing to make sense of it, and it's like you ain't going to find anything there. But if you're able to function with the two lenses of perception, this will be just fine. And I'll tell you, it's freedom like you've never known. But you can't do a frigging thing about it. You know, it's about letting the bottom fall out of it. It's total surrender. It's total trust. It's total annihilation. It's letting go of all of it. It's like the whole spiritual path was my frigging movie. Like all of it. All of it. There really was no place to go. I mean, really wasn't. The mind made a place to go to the enlightenment thing. There really wasn't. The whole thing was a load of crap. Do you know? So the bottom completely falling out of all of it. Nothing. And take the concept away of nothing away now. All right? Now, you would be so far from figuring out what the five senses have to do. It's like, that's way too far down the rabbit hole. It's like, can't stretch there. See? Because it's managed from another place.
I'm trying to feel my way to this. Yeah.
I'd like to offer something
Yeah.
here just because it's an experience that I'm trying to figure out, and I'm wondering if it can help with this kind of
Yeah.
going back and forth.
Shoot.
When I feel into this, in the I, as the exercise that you were doing, the contemplation and going past space and time, or just past space, because
Yeah.
that's typically where I've gone. So inviting myself to go even further than space, I hadn't contemplated. So what ended up happening is just white with nothing, with no feeling. But is that, I mean, I don't want to look at this as a goal. If that's not where I'm going
Yeah,
with this,
sure,
that
sure.
is not my intention.
Sure.
But it is an odd feeling to have nothing, to have no feeling, to have the absence of
Mhm.
everything. So that
But,
past space is what am I
Yeah.
stuck in a construct of space and sort of needing to see beyond space?
yeah,
Or is that really something that I've just,
the feeling of absence goes.
okay. Yeah, language really fails here.
It does. I know it does. Yeah, it does. It's way too dense, but it's all we got.
I know, it's all good.
Yeah. This. Yeah. Yes.
I wanted to go back to when you were telling us to find something that's pure inside you, and it occurred to me, well, consciousness is pure, and I suddenly, and if it's pure, then I'm not going to be there, and suddenly I as an individual disappeared.
Yes.
It was just
Yes.
being conscious,
Yes.
and there was a subtle inquiry so that there was no claiming. It was like I was going deeper, away from thought, and it suddenly got very quiet. And I mean, this was all within a few seconds.
Sure. Mhm.
As you were giving the instruction. And it was just like that. You're a magician, Jack. You made me disappear twice in 1 hour.
Not at all. Not at all. From that place where there's no leave, from that place of purity, what flows from there is unadulterated love. That's the movement that gives rise to everything that can show up as physical form, matter, and formless. All the whole palaver that can show up. Its origin is love. The movement itself that motivates it, the fuel, is love. From where do you know that love comes from it?
I know that theoretically. I hadn't gotten there experientially.
Okay, so then go to pure love. When you're looking for what's pure for you, go for pure love. Because what might really crack this for you, Lee, and crack this for you as if it's anyway, is when you go to pure consciousness and you can access it, and it's slate is clean. When you go to pure consciousness, I want you to find pure love. It's when there's just one thing, and it's. If you can find pure love and include the rollout of manifestation that comes, then you will see that Lee is love, that he is nothing else except love, that even his thoughts are love, that even fear is love. All of it in its raw state is love. All of it. All of it is love. Painted different colours on the outside. Strip off the paint, there's only love. Really, there's only love. So for you, when you go to pure consciousness, say, okay, can you find that it's pure love? And see if there's a resistance to pure love. Or if there's a me story that says, nah, it's not love. The love that I know is I can't trust. See what's there. The resistance to seeing that pure consciousness is pure love.
When you first suggested we try to find pure love or pure beauty, I tried that, but I was trying to find it as a subject finding an object. So that wasn't working. And then when you suggested just finding something pure, for whatever reason, it was much easier.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yeah, if you look for an object, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's just a conceptual thing. Yeah, it's you've got to find what makes you dial into it yourself. So the purity is something that works for you.
So as you go through these different steps that we can take and to go to different layers, the question that sort of intrigues me that I want to ask is, these steps that we're opening to and taking as to go there, it's not necessarily so much that they're truths, but they're directions to take so that we get somewhere. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so that you see that the mind makes the me story. Pure consciousness is the river underneath the boat that's the mind. Pure consciousness is the flow of it, and then the mind interprets it and tries to control it and puts a story on it and wants to get something out of it. But pure consciousness is the layer underneath that. And then underneath that. Underneath that. So your mind is the thing that dials into the thoughts. Pure consciousness, the thing that is going to live when your body is dead, because it's one unit, it's all one. And that's where we're all the same as each other. Pure consciousness. That's the thing that's going to live with or without an identity. And I'm threatening to take away the identity if I can. You see? Because when there is an identity with pure consciousness, it's ripe and ready to put a false identity on top of it. But to really dissolve, we have to get rid of this real identity. But we're all the same when we tune into pure consciousness. We're the same. There's only one landing point. We're all on the same landing point as pure consciousness. That's not your brain at all. The reflection of it shows up in your human brain, but that's not your brain at all, because pure consciousness was there before you. So that's you as pure consciousness. Nothing at all to do with you as a man in a human form right now. And from you recognizing yourself as pure consciousness, and then, oh gosh, let that break down. All right. Underneath that. So we've got the phenomenal you, the eternal abiding thing that in the non-dual teachings that we say that that's you. Now we get rid of those layers as well. And somehow if we can take you down there, if you can access that inside yourself, and it's like it's a dialing in, the concepts won't work. It's a dialing in. If you can find that frequency in yourself,
Hi. I want to say thank you. And what I've experienced as the watcher watching you present, is I see the difference between me and pure consciousness. And what I noticed watching is I have two eyes. So I see you in stereo. And that puts aside because I'm focusing. But if I realize that I'm seeing you in stereo, it brings in another depth. And now, as you talk, I see me and pure consciousness. And you're inviting me to hold both. This being, to hold both at the same time.
yes,
And as I do that, stereo vision happens.
yes,
And I get to a new level of depth.
yes.
Where
That's
I'm
right.
neither one or the other.
That's right, you're neither one or the other.
Yeah, it's just...
You can play at both,
And
but
stereo.
actually you're neither one or the other. That's why I'm saying there's really no resting place. That's
And
okay.
I want to say thank you.
You're very
I
good.
hear you.
You're very good.
You seem to have taken me before the Big Bang, before the
Yes.
expansion of
Yes.
space.
Yes. Yes.
I cannot stretch there because there was no there yet,
Yeah. Yet.
and this is where you lie.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's where we lie.
That's right. That's where we abide. But I want the knowing of that to filter through every single part of manifestation, so that it's a straight run through all of it, right down to your to space, time, emptiness, existence, right through me being pure consciousness, encompass identity, to the 75-year-old man.
There's the urge to be, to expand.
Yes.
In Islam, they say King David asked, Allah, why did you make us? You didn't need us. And the answer was, I was hidden and wanted to be known.
Ah. Yeah.
You've taken us to the hidden,
Yes.
to the before
Yes. To the before.
it all.
Before it all.
And you say, and it is love, which is the impulse, the spanda, the karika,
Yes.
the initial spark.
Yes. Love is the spark. Yeah. Yeah. You're very right. You're very right. So abide even prior to love. But as soon as there is movement, the movement itself is love. The first movement is love.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think you said this, but it's for me worth repeating. That is the doorway to freedom.
Oh, it is freedom itself.
It is freedom.
Oh, it's freedom itself.
Because whatever happened to
Down
me up
here.
until this moment doesn't matter. In this moment, if I choose, I can be free.
You are free, you just think you're not. I'm sorry to be using non-duality.
No, I hear that. I hear
but it's
that.
not valid.
I take a breath in,
Yeah.
I choose life, and see what happens.
Okay.
Total freedom.
All right. Okay. That's running it right down there. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yes.
Well, if I understand it, you've taken us backwards to the core of what existence is. But you say that the pathway to where we are is love. How does love have it in? What does love got to do?
Yeah. Going back to the core is prior to love. There isn't even love there. There's even love there. Total absence, and take the idea of absence away. There isn't even love there. Where this shows up, its underpinning fuel is love. That's its underpinning fuel.
But why? How?
Because love is, it's movement. Love is movement. That's what it is. It's movement.
Well, life is suffering. It sucks. I mean, that's the whole Buddhist trip. How to overcome it. And yet, somehow, the spark that takes us from this core into where we are is love. And I don't get what love is, why? What does love do?
When love, the experience of freedom, deeper than this, the experience of freedom could not be had unless love is. That's the ingredient that pulls it all together. And I didn't see it for a very long time myself. I was like, no, it's just another concept, it's just another concept. And when I in 2011, when I woke up one morning, oh holy crap, there's an attachment to identity. Identifying with the absolute. Holy shit! Like, oh my God, why did I bring identity into the pure consciousness? Oh my God! And so it started to, nope, off we go again on the next layer, right? And so there was a while of like, yeah, the love thing is important up here because the love brings you to wholeness and it sorts out the wounding. It sorts out that, so it gives you a different perspective. And I left it there. And then I was talking about, okay, now deeper than love, deeper than love. Come on, it's just another human stuff that's a great tool up here. And freedom couldn't kick in until the very first movement towards the Big Bang, if there was a Big Bang, the very first movement for the start of it all, that frigging movement was love.
Yeah, we're going around in circles.
You see, I can't say why. I just can say that's what I found to be so. And I really was surprised. And so I questioned it for quite some time. Going again, going again, going again. How does this rollout happen? No, love is way too dense. It's like, oh God, actually. It was like showing up in front. Showing up, showing up, showing up. Love is a thread through the whole thing, Jack. Love is the thread through the whole thing. It's just, the word itself kind of contaminates it. It's that movement is a cleaner word, really. Find out for yourself and tell me if it's something different. But that's what I stumbled on. It's like, darn it, fight it as I like. No, it's coming back to love all the time. Yeah.
Is it kind of like a love, if you can expand the definition, like love moving to a relationship, connection, interaction, like a love with that sort of connotation to it?
Really, it's everything, and there's some version of it in everything. I could say it's pure consciousness. They're the same thing, really, but pure consciousness is too contaminated, because there is a power to consciousness. Sure, there's a prior to love, but as soon as we go to the potentiality of a concept in order to start a movement towards manifestation, that frigging thing's love. What the heck? And it kind of is like, actually, maybe that's why it bleeds through the whole thing. Maybe that's why it's an essential component to go back. I'm only thinking this now, actually. Maybe that's why the self-love is the thing that stops the contraction into the me. Maybe that's why. It's just, it's none of it is possible without love. Duh. Okay.
There it is.
None of it is possible without love. That's a better sentence. Yes.
So, the me and the physical world is this contraction, yeah? It's contraction. Mm-hmm. Yes, but it comes out of this expansion. Mm-hmm. So it just seems like that there's a little bit of a paradox there. This expansion is causing this contraction at the same time.
Yeah, not a paradox. Just because it can. Doesn't have an agenda. Too pure for that.
And yet, I feel that also in, even though a moment, there's no such thing, but I feel that it's
the pulsation.
It's like this. And so the me is the contraction that came out of the Big Bang.
Sure, you can say that, but I'd like you to practice being in the wider space where the room is breathing you, or whatever your methodology is, and learn how to operate the me from there. Learn how to operate the me from there. And the high jump is talking to other people.
Yeah, that's what's
you do everything else first.
That's what's been really useful for me to see that that preference.
Yeah.
To the non-dual.
Yeah.
Also the attachment to purpose.
Yeah.
I've always thought it was just love. I've always just, that was an intuition.
Yeah.
That's just an intuition for me.
Sure.
I can't say one.
Yeah. And let this guy have his purpose if he wants to. It's like there is the personal I, and he likes purpose, but hang out in the place of where you see that.
Yeah.
And you're not like, he just likes purpose, and he likes French fries too,
In the relative world, it's okay to have a purpose.
Yeah, but don't justify it. Don't justify it. I can feel you justify it.
Don't try to become that good person.
Yeah, that's
you're
right.
Talking about.
That's right. Don't put it in a box. Oh, I'm allowed to have that. It's like, no. If you see through it, it can be there.
Yeah, the purpose is just what's really being in tune with what's arising. As you're
All right, okay. You can ascribe it to that for a while. Yeah,
rather,
maybe we can.
rather than getting it valued.
Yeah. Okay. I go with that. Yes.
Could you say something more about the barrier of talking to other people and why that's the wrong way to start out?
Yeah, it's a high jump because everything is engaged. Your visual, which catches that gentleman, because when he opens his eyes, he's like, whoa, the volume goes up on the dualistic program. When we're talking to others, when another person is in the dualistic lens, the attraction for like to attract like is really strong. It's like having two different radio stations on at the same time. So you have to be really solid in order to hear your radio station and also hear the other radio station at the same time. Do you know? To be able to stay in the non-dual and have the personality play without it being invested in any way. Without it being invested in any way. Can it talk about preferences and the other person imagining that you have desire or that, and you know that you're just chit-chatting. You really are someplace where you couldn't give a damn, but the me is just communicating and being human. Dancing. Authentically, with no judgment on either. Can you do that in the present moment? It's not easy. That's why it's like, take it down. We're 10 minutes over. I'm going to wrap up.